And we saw earlier before.
Let's get into this.
This was a 3-part segment. We had the Dark Order, and then we had the rebuttal by the Elite. Then we had the in-ring shenanigans. And the rebuttal by the Elite, part 2, was absolutely insane, hilarious. We saw there's a lot of nuances and with the wardrobe and things they're doing. And, Doc Gallows stealing SPD shades and wearing a Ric Flair robe and the Cookie Monster. And so this was a hilarious segment as always. I mean, they're getting better and better. Doc and Carl challenging the Dark Order and the Young Bucks just spitting game, which is the truth. I mean, is there anyone else? Is there anyone better than us here as collective champions? Is there?
You're right.
Clearly there has not been. And they cut the net down because they're the champions, and what more to do? They've sealed their fate in history at the best champions, and who is going to take them down? And so, I thought it was a dominating promo. I thought it was a hilarious promo.
Yes.
And these guys just work so well together. I mean, you look at those guys, and it's just like it's true. Like, who is going to beat these guys? Who is going to step up? I have no idea. I feel like we can have kind of a more clear taker in terms of Hangman dethroning Kenny versus the Young Bucks getting dethroned by anybody. I have no idea who can dethrone the Young Bucks at this point.
Well, I think that the long-term story there, I know that you've talked about Lucha Bros, you've talked about, to me, the long-term story there is Santana Ortiz getting that title shot. I think everybody is chomping at the bit. Those guys deserve another chance, and they deserve a run with the belts. We've seen the Bucks have the belts, and they've had an epic title run. Mm-hmm. We've seen FTR, my guys, FTR, have a title run. Yeah. It's time that Santana Ortiz get that shot, get that opportunity to run with the belts. But that said, dude, I mean, nobody has been presented as equals to the Young Bucks or Kenny. I mean, we've talked about this at length, man. Who will beat the Elite? The story here, I mean, and let's be real too. Like, them embracing and acknowledging that is a good thing, a part of television, right? That, like, embracing nobody can stop us. We've challenged everybody. Who on the roster could hold a candle to us? I thought that was really smart. To again acknowledge that, recognize that, and lean into it. It only makes us want to see them lose that much more. And that said, it also puts things in perspective a little bit, SPD. I think that it's really easy to take for granted how good these guys have been. But I think when you have them kind of go like they did tonight, remind the world that they've literally run through everybody in the division, the tag division, and Kenny, for him to, basically be at a point where we all thought Hangman was going to be the guy. He's beat Hangman. I mean, he's both of these, the Elite, Don Callis has to be smiling ear to ear in those shades.
And short shorts.
And the short shorts. He's got to be beaming because tonight was an emphatic W for the Elite. They put the wrestling world on notice once again, reminding everyone why they are the best in the world. And I think that some of the outfits tonight were hinting at that, right? Like, kind of
elaborate. What did you see that kind of, because you pointed out a few things that I didn't really notice and kind of thought of, other than the Ric Flair robe.
The Ric Flair robe jumps out at you, but then you see that the Jackson brothers, and I know that Hawaiian shirts are a thing for those guys, so maybe I'm reading into it a little bit, but you see the Hawaiian shirts on the Jacksons, certainly something for those of us who love Bray Wyatt and his early days in NXT, kind of in the rocking chair days when he was the cult leader. He would rock those shirts, and so it was like it seemed like an ode to him. And then Kenny, for me, like seeing Kenny with that Cookie Monster shirt, CM Punk. There was a lot. CM Punk has always talked given different answers, kind of like the Joker on what CM Punk really stands for. Chicago made, Cookie Monster. You hear all sorts of different reasonings behind CM Punk, but to be honest, there you go, throwing up that graphic.
Thank you, Bonds, for finding this.
You see some of those parallels. It's interesting. I know that Darby Allin put CM Punk on notice last week. Maybe Kenny's making a subtle ode to right. CM Punk. I like it. So I think that, again, AEW does such a nice job. Chick Magnet Punk. AEW does such a nice job of having layers to their characters. And that's what I love about what we're developing here. Again, think about this. Kenny Omega right now is in a position where Christian Cage, which we'll get into here shortly, Christian Cage is emerging as the number one contender.
Talk about it.
Hangman Adam Page is in the title scene. You got him in Kenny is in a position where he's got multiple layers now of contenders chomping at the bit to get a shot. And I love that they are acknowledging the undefeated Christian Cage.
Mm-hmm.
We